there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce monotone and monotonous. And in addition to that, we'll look at how syllable stress affects vowel pronunciation and use these words as a good example to learn a little bit more about when you're approaching longer words, how to learn to pronounce them correctly. So first of all, the word monotone, meaning a flat tone or one tone. For example, if I speak in a monotone voice, it means I'm not changing my pitch at all. So all staying on the same tone or pitch, monotone. Coming from one, mono being one. We have first syllable stress in monotone. And so this follows the rule that the letter O in a stressed syllable most of the time says the ah vowel. You may associate the ah vowel with letter A because in your native language, A says ah, and we do have a few words in English that say ah for letter A, like father or pasta, but typically we spell the ah vowel with letter O in English. And so since ma is stressed, in this first syllable, letter O says ah, ma, monotone. And so that's the first thing to realize, that you may see that letter O and think of something more like an O or something more rounded, that you really want to think of that as an unrounded, open ah sound. That's why I've rewritten it for you here with letters AH to just think of that ah sound. You can also use another word, for example, not monotone, or my father's monotone, something that's going to help you think of that ah vowel when you see this word. Then our next letter O is in an unstressed syllable, monotone, monotone. It goes by quickly and it has a reduced vowel. In this case, it's vowel schwa, which I've rewritten for you here with letters UH. Just like in the word it's a short reduced sound, monotone. It's very fast. The ma is stretched and the n and tone are shorter. But we do have secondary stress on the last syllable, tone, because we have our clear O vowel here. So it's just like in the word tone, your tone is good. We have the vowel O, it's a diphthong, it's nice and long, monotone. So the n is very short. Tone is shorter than ma because ma is the main stress, and tone just has stress because it keeps that clear vowel. But because it has the clear vowel and it has secondary stress, we use a true T here, monotone. Many times when we have a T in the middle of words, it will change into a flap T or sometimes an unreleased T. In this case, it's just the same as in the word tone. We use the true aspirated T sound. So you can say tone, monotone. You can hear how it sounds strange if I said monotone. It doesn't sound correct. So this is one example of a T in the middle that is just like a T at the beginning of words. So not monotone, father's monotone. Then when we get to monotonous, we add some syllables here and our pronunciation changes drastically because of where the stress lies, even though we still have lots of O's in monotonous. Now we're going to be stressing on the second syllable. So that's where our letter O says the ah sound again, because that's where the stress is. So instead of ma, we have mana. So I suggest for monotonous, starting on the stress syllable, try monotonous. So let's go break it down further. So in the first syllable now this is unstressed, so letter O is going to say our sound like it did here in this middle syllable. Those two syllables have just basically switched vowels. We have mana and mana. Again, when I start on na, it's going to help me get that first letter O into that reduced sound, mana, because I'm stretching on the na syllable. Monotonous. So there are two ways to do this. You can do a T here, monotonous, but this is a place where we typically won't use that T. Americans are more likely to say monotonous. where we use what's called an unreleased or stopped T here. So, what we'll do is, how I'll mark that is looking at as I'm stopping the air for the T, but I'm not letting it out. Rather than monotonous, I go up to make the T, monot. So thinking about actually the word not, but not saying the T, not. And that's how we say that word when it's at the end, I'm not, or when it's followed by a consonant sound. For example, not there. I don't say not there with a break. I say not there. I make the T by stopping the air, and then I release it into the next consonant sound. Not there, not busy, not having any, rather than not there, not busy, not having any. You can hear how that T, the aspirated T, we typically don't use that at the ends of words. So same thing here in the middle, monotonous. So I can either, if I say it with the T, monotonous, I will use a true vowel here. Otherwise, both the T and the schwa kind of get lost, and this N functions as a syllabic N, monotonous. So the break is more here, where the TN functions like we do at the ends of words. For example, in the word button, I don't say button. I don't have an aspirated T there. We have an unreleased T, and we basically drop the vowel, and the N sound becomes a syllable. So the letter N becomes both a vowel and a consonant. It's called a syllabic N. It sounds like button, monotonous. Of course, as I say monotonous, I'm linking between these sounds, but it's kind of helpful to think of it as the middle syllable being just the N sound. So with the stop T, monotonous. And finally, at the end, we have another reduced vowel. I've written it here with the letter U. You can also think about it like the I vowel. Exactly what vowel I use there doesn't matter as much as it being very reduced and short. So rather than a clear vowel, I don't want nus or nis. I just want nus, monotonous. Once you can say monotone and monotonous by themselves, do try practicing them in some short phrases, especially because if you have in the past pronounced these incorrectly or not known how to pronounce them, you may find that you master the word and then you go to use it and it still comes out the old way, or you still stumble over it. And so it's helpful to practice it and bring it into sentences. That means it'll be more likely that you'll be able to say it correctly when you want to use it in real life. So for example, let's try some sentences with monotone. He spoke in a monotone voice. I nearly fell asleep because the speaker was so monotone in their delivery. For monotonous, that job is so monotonous, I would go crazy. The commercials during that show were very monotonous. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have questions about any of these topics I've talked about, the vowel sounds, the consonant sounds, the details like the stopped and unreleased T's, or the syllabic N, you can get more help for those in our specific videos on those sounds. Also, I cover all of the sounds of English in our Sounds of English course. I'll walk you through the letters and the sounds, spelling, typical accent error patterns, to help you build a strong foundation to pronounce any word you like confidently and easily in American English. That's called our Sounds of English course, and you can find it on our website, speechmodification.com. We also have some additional courses there for more advanced American accent training, linking and real talk, so check those out. You can go to find them on our website, on our courses page. Thanks so much for your comments, your questions, and requests. If you have a word you'd like to see me cover in the Word of the Day series, feel free to leave that in the comments below, and I'll get back to you with resources and an answer, or I'll add your word to my list to cover in a future class. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Word of the Day, and Saturday we'll have our live question and answer class. I hope you can join us for that. You can type your questions in the chat and I'll answer them for you live. You can also find some more resources on our channel page. We have our community page with daily sneak previews, quizzes. You can see what's coming up for live classes and new Word of the Day releases. We also have a number of different playlists on our channel page. So we have our Word of the Day playlist, but you can also look into specifics on vowel sounds, names, medical words, reductions and linking, sort of advanced American pronunciation, lots of different resources for you there. So I do recommend going to the channel page and checking that out. Thanks so much for those of you who have subscribed to the channel, and especially those of you who have joined as channel members. Remember, you can leave your requests at any time in a comment and I'll get back to you with your video with a quick turnaround time. All right, thanks everyone for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next classes. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye everyone. Hope to see you again soon.